Hi, Tyler from Interfidelity here at Big Sound 2000. This is the last day, and we're not even doing an official listening session, but Jamie and Mike from HeadRoom came down to say howdy. Hi, you guys. How you doing?
Good. How you doing? Thanks,
Good to see you all as always. Why don't you guys just briefly, and we'll start with you, Mike,
Okay.
go through the headphones that you had a chance to listen to and just make a quick comment on them.
So LCD3, I always like these headphones. Nice, lush, kind of inviting sound. Nice bass, nice punchy bass.
Mm-hmm.
A little heavy, a little bulky. I've always kind of had an issue with that. Even being a big guy, I've always found them a little heavy. But really engaging sound. I've always liked the LCD3.
Okay.
These Oppos, pretty interesting mod that was done on these. I think there's definitely an improvement from the stock. Still a little too warm for my taste. Maybe lacks a little bit of punch on the low end. But Oppo does make a really well-designed headphone, really solid.
And this is the Audio Zenith PMX2, so that's the modified name.
Right. Still a good headphone, just not quite my taste.
Okay.
So the Enigma Dharmas. These are
Enigma Acoustics Dharma. Yeah.
These are interesting. Little weird. I don't know. It's hard to put my finger on it. It's got a neat sense of space, but it can get a little harsh in the highs. Maybe lacks a little punch on the low end. Fairly comfortable, interesting design, but just I don't know. Something's different about them, and I'm not sure if they're quite my entire cup of tea on those. So let's see here. Ethers, Mr. Speaker's Ether. These are pretty damn awesome. I've been spending a lot of time with these before I even came in here today, and boy, they just kind of do everything right. They got a good sense of space, they got clarity, but they're not overly bright. Bass is good punch, but not too boomy. They're pretty lightweight for a planar. Real well designed. I'm really impressed with these. These are I would say these are probably number 2 to me in this whole room. I'm kind of torn. But then we go to number 1. I really like these HE1000s. I hate to say that I like them because now I'm figuring out how to get a pair myself, but these are pretty damn awesome. I mean, they are just quick but engaging, clean, fast. The bass has got good punch. They are comfy for how big they are. I was actually pretty surprised with that. Really just a really great sound.
And what about when played loud?
They do seem to break up a little bit when you get loud, little harsh. They kind of lose it just a little bit, but they really are exciting and a fun headphone. I really like these a lot.
I actually do too. Okay, let's see. Downstairs to the Abyss headphones.
The Abyss. Wow. I was really expecting a lot more. I had my hopes up pretty high for those, but they just really felt short for. Fit was they're really awkward to wear. There's definitely something off in the mid-range. They feel really distant. They got an interesting kind of sound stage to them, but boy, I really couldn't get into those headphones at all, especially considering some of these others and for the price.
Yeah.
Boy, those would be tough to justify.
And then the Stax 009 and 007?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've listened to Stax. The 007, I've never heard that one before. Definitely not my cup of tea. It's a little too warm, a little too dark, lacks a little bit of punch. I do like the quickness of the electrostats. I've always kind of enjoyed that fast sound, but 007 just doesn't cut it. I do like a brighter sound, like a bassier sound. That's definitely my taste. So the 007 really didn't fit me very well. On the other hand, 009, I really did like those. It's been a while since I've heard those. Really like the clarity, the quickness. They have decent bass. I wish they had a little more kind of punch on the low end. But really comfy and just overall really good sound. I do like the 009s quite a bit. So. And
any comment on any of the amps? I know you didn't really spend too much time on the amps.
Yeah,
but
just kind of going through them. I do really like this head amp. This is actually really nice. Really quick, really clean. I definitely enjoyed that setup. The Teton from Todd is actually pretty great too. I'm not usually a tube amp guy, and I kind of like that it's not too warm, too colored. It's still got kind of a clean, solid state kind of sound, so I did enjoy that. The Moon is good, but I felt it maybe a tad slow. You know, it's warm, but it just some of these sounded better on the quicker amplifiers to get a little more speed out of them.
Cool.
Yeah, so really awesome experience. This
All
is
right.
great.
And then Jamie. Well, hey, your turn. Quick through
All right,
the.
Odyssey LCD3, that's an old standard, and I really like the sound of the Odysseys. If I could own another pair of reference cans, they would definitely be on my list. So.
And just out of curiosity, because we didn't talk about it with Mike, but do you prefer the LCD3 over the LCDX or vice versa?
If I were to buy, I would probably buy the LCDX. I just have a feeling it's more durable, and I would take it with me more. And the sound difference is not enough for me. They're both still reference level cans, and I would use either one to.
Interesting.
Purposes.
Cool. And then the Audio Zenith PMX2 modified Oppo PM2s.
I didn't spend a lot of time with this one. It didn't seem like it's in the same class as the rest of the cans, so I just moved on.
Okay.
The Dharma seems a bit odd to me. Soundstage, I guess you could say, is wide, but it sounded as if it was coming from behind me, so it threw me off a little bit. And then maybe the tonality isn't really quite what I wanted, but the build quality is certainly interesting.
Okay.
The Mr. Speaker's Ether is, I think, a fantastic headphone. It sounds very linear and has low distortion, and so I could see that one as a reference level headphone, and it's super comfortable. Let's see what else. I'm not sure. It's a great headphone.
Yeah. Okay.
And
the
HE1000.
HE1000s.
That one reminds me of the Sennheiser Orpheus sound, and also kind of looks like it. It has a really luscious, engaging sound, but I don't know if I would classify it as reference level with these other cans. It seems like the breakup that Mike and Tile have pointed out. It seems as if it's good for low listening or just kind of laid back listening, but if you want to crank it up, it's probably not going to cut it.
Okay. Did you spend any time on the stacks this morning?
No, I didn't. I used to listen to the stacks a while back, and I think they probably just aren't in my budget, so I stay away from them. You know?
And speaking of not in the budget, did you put the Abyss on at all?
I did, and you know, my philosophy with headphones is that they have to sound great first, and they also have to be comfortable, and that thing's just not comfortable. I don't understand it. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it on my list of things to purchase.
And any comment on the amplifiers?
The amplifiers, well, sure. I thought the Bakun had an interesting sound. It seems colored to me, so I'm not sure it's my cup of tea, but it was kind of engaging upon first listen. I'd have to give it some more time to see if I like it.
Uh-huh.
The Eddy Current, I thought that was really outstanding sound. I don't know the price, but Tyler said
It's
the most
like
affordable.
$1,200 or something. It's not very much.
Okay, so very clean, punchy, sounded nice and wide. The Burson needs a new knob. This is pretty janky. Didn't get a chance to listen to it, but with that, you kind of feel like there's lack of attention to detail. So I didn't get a chance to listen to the Vioelectric, but the head amp sounded very quick and clean and powered all of these headphones well. And I did a little bit of time comparing that to the Moon, and something about the Moon is more engaging for me. It might be the way the volume is controlled and the smoothness of those steps, but it just sucked me in, and I was able to sit back and listen more than the other amplifiers.
Cool. Well, it's great having the guys from HeadRoom here. I like visiting them down at the store every now and again and chatting with them. They certainly have spent a lot of time around headphones, so there's interesting words for them, and I'm glad to have their input on this very last day, but for all my wrap-up content. And so we'll let these guys go get back to the store. See you later, Mike,
Thanks,
man.
Yeah, always a pleasure, man.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Your fidelity.
Awesome.
And we'll see you guys next time.